What if everyone had to go out into the world every day to find their food? What would you do? Would you plant crops or would you hunt for wild animals? Any act of hunting and gathering would be a challenge because we live in an era where food is in abundance. We are not used to having to grow, hunt, or catch in order to survive. If that were the case, throwing a line in the water would be a skill that would come in handy. In many residential neighborhoods, there are ponds that are stocked with fish that are just waiting to be caught. Similarly, as many people visit the lake on weekends and holidays, they swim and water ski without enjoying the fine hobby of fishing. I became interested in fishing from a young age. My dad would take me to the local pond where we would spend hours fishing for anything that would bite. As I grew older and was able to start purchasing fishing tackle and drive myself to secret fishing spots, it has become my favorite activity. Today, I am going to explain the process of preparing your fishing gear and catching a fish. The three steps include first, purchasing the necessary equipment, second, tying on hooks, lures, and other tackle, and third, casting and reeling in your catch. The first step in the process of catching a fish is to purchase the equipment necessary to go fishing. Fishing supplies can be bought at many stores, including Academy, Dick's Sporting Goods, Bass Pro Shops, and even Walmart. Where one buys his or her groceries, he or she may also buy fishing gear. Generic fishing tackle is also relatively inexpensive. $30 to $40 should do the trick. What one must first do is to purchase a rod and reel. They come in many different types, shapes, sizes, and prices. Different types are used for different kinds of fishing. The next piece of equipment to purchase is fishing line. Fishing line is also comes in different types and strengths. The strength of fishing line is called test. According to West Marine Incorporated, the test of your fishing line should roughly match the weight of the species you are fishing for. The final necessary purchase includes hooks, weights, and lures. These too come in varieties. It is important to choose your lures and hooks based on the species you are fishing for. Once you have purchased the necessary equipment, it is time to set up your rig. Tying a fishing knot is similar to tying shoelaces. There are different ways to tie fishing knots and shoelaces, but once you have your preferred method, it takes practice to perfect it. After a while, it becomes second nature. One knot I would like to show you is a knot that I tie every time I set up my fishing gear. It is called a clinch knot. And this is a very brief explanation of how to tie a clinch knot. You can put a worm on this hook, or you can also tie a lure straight onto the line. This is tied the same way. If you are fishing for bluegill, catfish, or any other species with live bait, using weights and a bobber is the most common way to catch them. To me, this is the most exciting way to fish because you never know what is on the end of the line when you see the bobber submerge under the water. And this is an explanation of a bobber rig with the bobber, the weight, and the hook. Once you have set up your fishing pole, it is time to finally go fishing. The third step in the process of catching a fish is to cast, reel in, and remove the hook. This is obviously the best part about fishing because you are rewarded for all the hard work you have put in purchasing and setting up your equipment. Also, if we turn to hunting and gathering for survival, catching would mean eating and ultimately survival. The first step is to cast the bait into the water. According to the Missouri Department of Conservation, bluegill can be found along the edges of weed beds, brush piles, stake beds, and flooded timber. Fish like cover and protection, so cast near cover. Once you have made your cast, patiently wait until the bobber goes underwater, signaling that you have a fish on the line. To make sure the fish stays on, set the hook by jerking the rod upward or to the side. This lodges the hook in the fish's mouth. Reel in until you land the fish. In order to let the fish back in the water, the hook needs to be removed, obviously. In an article in the United Kingdom Telegraph newspaper, Professor James Rose from the University of Wyoming concluded that fish have instinctive responses to the hook, but these did not lead to conscious feeling or pain. Not only is the process of catching a fish fun, but it also does not harm the fish. As you can see, catching a fish is a simple three-step process: purchasing the necessary equipment, setting up your fishing pole, and casting and reeling in your catch. Fishing as a hobby allows you to enjoy nature while saving money. So if somehow we experience a food shortage, grab a pole and start fishing.